rock and roll!
Well, judging from the carving on your desk, it looks like his name is Ozzy.
Yes, and apparently he rules.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Now, in the life of me, I never ever thought I would ever be doing a video highlighting a cross-pollination with Jeffrey Epstein and what this channel's about, which is basically Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney, because Disney owns Lucasfilm. But here we are. Now, I want to caution you guys first that people are innocent until proven guilty in this country. So everything coming up in the next 10 minutes is just stuff that was found in the Justice Department files that they got from Epstein. First up is a guest list of a party, pre-BAFTA party thrown by Lynn Forrester de Rothschild. She's the widow of Evelyn de Rothschild, Lord, whatever. And she's now married to a guy named Lord Maurice Saatchi, who runs a financial firm in London with his brother Charles. So you get this list. Looking down it, several names pop out. Ray Fiennes, Tom Stoppard, Kathleen Kennedy, and Frank Marshall. Let me remind you, this pre-BAFTA party / birthday bash was after Epstein got convicted of sex crimes. I would think the people that were invited to this thing will go, no, thank you, right? We're going to go over there now, okay, and stand. But they didn't. And to me, it's really interesting looking at this list, how Lynn Forrester can overlook what he did. Like it's not a big deal. Kennedy, if she did go with her husband, because there's no way to see who actually attended that party unless there's an attendance list. This is Lynn Forrester de Rothschild and her new husband they became a couple in 2024. But I want kind of you to see that. She's an American Brit, knows a lot about finance, which is why she probably met her dead husband in the first place. It's very interesting to me. It's very incestuous. But I want to say this. None of these people hanging out together has anything to do with Epstein's Island. This is money. And it could actually be worse because it hits every facet. I mean, when you think about Donald Trump putting a rule out that says BlackRock and other big firms can't buy up residential housing anymore, these big companies buy houses and drive up prices and rent. All right, so this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who do that shit, and that's just the surface. What is Kennedy doing knowing what Jeffrey Epstein did with those girls? The rumors. What are she and her husband, doing, floating around a crowd like that? What is Ray Fiennes doing there? I happen to know he's a big pervert, but whatever. He deals with grown-up women. Okay, so, there you go. But you got to understand, this goes to Harvey Weinstein, for crying out loud. I mean, now I'm going to say this. A picture proves nothing. A picture proves nothing. But these two ass clowns right here are huge predators. Right? Huge predators. So, we've got this. They had a relationship. I haven't really looked into it, but I do know that Harvey shows up in it. And the documents that were dropped. And then, of course, you've got Kennedy here mixing herself up with Harvey's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland. And again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I will never let either of these two women off the hook for their relationship with him. I just won't. Okay. But this is how incestuous it is. You got Epstein being invited to a pre-BAFTA birthday party by the widow of Baron de Rothschild. Huh? Kathleen Kennedy and her husband get invited to that party. Huh? You've got a relationship between Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and Kathleen Kennedy and Harvey's former personal assistant. This is the circle of trash they float in. These are the people that look down their noses at us, normal people not being sophisticated, right? And seeing this grotesque garbage just being, look, we're probably not going to see a lot of convictions, but there's enough here to embarrass a lot of people in Hollywood and a lot of people in the government and a lot of big business people, right? And to me, it's like, you're sticking the snake down the drain and pushing it out of the shit. You want to be embarrassed? Here's a picture of you and Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, you were on a party list for him. And the way the public works now is they convict you before you ever go to trial, which I don't agree with. And there are people that have been attacked by conservatives who, in my opinion, had nothing to do with any of it. But again, if you knew in 2017 that Jeffrey Epstein was a pervert and a predator, why the fuck were you hanging out with him? A good PR guy would say, this is not a good look, right? But wait, there's more. Because there's somebody else whose name shows up. Bob Iger's.
I've been basking in it for the last 30 minutes. My God. I feel like a seafront village after the Vikings have left.
Money.
Money? Oh, but what's money to an artist? To a philosopher? It's just a green-colored paper that floats in and out of his life like snow. It's nothing you actually have to, work for, is it, Troy?
So if you thought Bob Iger was going to escape scrutiny in the Jeffrey Epstein cabal or fiasco, circus, no, he's not. And the reason why is because a guy named Mark Hull wrote an email, which is, in the Justice Department releases this week, basically stating that he wanted to find this guy and had hired a private investigator to do it for Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, why? Money. This was right before the FTX collapse. And again, Jeffrey Epstein is known as a predator of young women, teenage girls, right? No one ever brings up the fact that there's billions and billions and billions involved. And the fact that if we do it right and the Justice Department allows it, we may see a connection between Sam Bankman-Fried, the Walt Disney Company, and Jeffrey Epstein, right? Because Jeffrey Epstein's job is financial stuff. All right, that's what he did, and that's why the Rothschilds, Baron de Rothschild's widow, had a party in 2017 after the sex crimes were out there and he was convicted. This has everything to do with power. This has everything to do with filling holes up and hiding things. And if Iger was doing this for Maxwell with greater zeal, and trust me, if he had anything to do with the sex crimes going on, the Lolita Express and that island, Twitter would have melted down a long time ago. This is about money. This is about money lost. This is about what does Hull know about that? And I don't think Hull understands in this situation why Iger, and it sounds like he's mystified, would be worried about that. But why would Natalie Portman, Padme Amidala, want to find him for Ghislaine Maxwell? Why is she connected to him or to Maxwell? These are names that when you see them come up, it's like, what the fuck? You know, it's very, I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed with this. And I'm like, I can't. And of course, there's Reese Witherspoon. She wanted to find Hull for Maxwell. Now, a person who really threw down to look again was Iger. Why did they want to find him for Maxwell? What were they worried about? Did they have money invested that was gone? Or did they take money? This is what it's about. And again, I'm going to say something. The sex crimes that Epstein committed, I'm going to say this, pale in comparison to what this really could be about. They're the cherry on top of the shit sundae, right? Now, I was going to say this. Al Capone wasn't arrested for all the people he killed. He was arrested for defrauding the government of taxes, tax evasion, right? So I woke up last night at 3 a.m. I saw Cameron's post, there were 2, on his Patreon, and I went, what? I never thought I'd live to see the day where both Bob Iger and Kennedy Marshall would be listed somehow with the Epstein issue. And seeing what a bizarre web of fucked up relationships Kennedy and Marshall really navigate, and what a bizarre web of fucked up relationships Iger navigates if he's going hammer and tongs trying to find this guy. Period. And oh, by the way, there is nothing out there that says the FBI, when they got the document, this letter that was referred to them by the Justice Department, they never looked it up. But again, in this day and age, people are guilty until proven innocent, right? And again, if you were at a party with Jeffrey Epstein, maybe you even got a picture taken, some dumbass black pill on the right is going to say you're a pervert and scream pedophile, right? Even if you're not. So when I look back on this, the words, don't go to that party, he's going to be there, your name will be attached, and it might come back to bite you, don't have anything to do with this. That would have been my advice. But hey, what do we know, right, guys? Anyway, I had to do a video. I'm literally half chuckling and half going, what the fuck were you people thinking? And Iger, everybody knows what he was thinking. Money. Money that Disney lost. This is Steph sending out Zero on the Galaxy.
Ready, everybody?
All set. Here we go.